Hey, hi everyone. My name is Varsha and welcome to Study with Varsha. So, friends, I have covered Git, that version control system. I teach you Bitbucket as well. And yesterday, when we were discussing about the what is the life cycle of DevOps, each and everything we have understand. Now, in that, the first thing was that which we understand. Let me show you. Was this continuous development like 7cs, continuous development, continuous integration, continuous testing. And before that also we have understand plan. So in that after that it was code. So for code it was Git GitHub, GitLab. So it was for the version control system. So today first what I'm going to do is that first I will try to explain you that what is version control system, why we need version control system, and what how many types of version control system, each and everything we will elaborate and we will try to understand, so that before starting to Git or before going to any tool we have a clear understanding. Okay, so this tool will help like that, and this is centralized version control system, this is distributed version control system, each and everything we will learn together. So the first thing that every day we use to say version control system. So what you mean understand by this? So a version control system is nothing but it is a tool that is used in software development and collaborative projects to track and manage changes to the source code. What it means? It means for tracking purpose we are using version control system, and it allowed developers also to record and track every update to the code base. Okay, so that if developer to, for example, multiple developers is there, so with the help of version control system one developer can also get to know, okay, what is developer 2 is doing. Now it will collaborate on code without overwriting each other's work. What it mean? It means like, see, if developer one working on some branch, and if it is working, so writing something, so he will understand, he can check to developers to work also, so both will not write the same thing and it will not overwriting, and it is easier to states of the project if needed and maintain a detailed and structured history of the project evolution. So some features is there for version control system. First feature is branching, centralized version control system, collaboration, conflict, repository, integration, code review, and collaboration. Don't worry, we will learn together what it all is. Now, server is there, it will go to the repository. Now developer 1, developer 2, developer 3, all is there. So see, all this developer is there, okay, and now they will push their code to the repository and it will go to the server. So that is nothing but version control system. But let's understand the image. So a server connected to multiple developers, correct? The repository store the project file on the server, correct? Developer access and update repository to collaborate on the same project. So changes made by one developer can be shared with others through the repository, and this setup helps maintain a centralized version of the project code. It means, see, developer 1, developer 2, and developer 3, 3 person is there, they are working in different places on their local machine. At the end they will push to the repository, that is only version control system. From there every developer will get to know what is developer 1 will get to know what developer 2 is doing or developer 3 is doing, and vice versa. So what it will do, there will be no conflict that what exactly they are doing. They will understand, okay, he is working on that part, so I have to work on that part, like that. So it will helps to maintain a centralized version for the project code. Now this is features, okay, branching, centralized version, collaboration, conflict, repository. But some components should be there, correct? A version control system. So let's try to understand. So version control system work using a few core concepts that helps team manage code changes and collaborate efficiently. What it means? See, there is a repository, revision, branch, merging, and commit. Some components are there. Repository means a central location, okay, that stores all project file along with their complete change history and metadata like author and commit message. What it means? It means repository is nothing but it's a place, okay, and that will be in the center. So that will be accessible for all the developers and everyone. Now, what for what purpose we are using that? To store all our files. And if we are storing our files, so complete information will be there. Okay, Versa, that Versa had stored this file name is this, and what is inside the file, at what time I commit, all the messages will be there. So that is nothing but repository, and that is centrally located. Now, revision. So what do you mean by revision? So a specific saved version of a file or a project identified using a unique ID such as a hash or a number. So if we have to take a snapshot kind of thing, or we can say as a specific saved version, so we will identify with the unique name, not with the person name and all. Now, branch, a separate copy of the code base used to develop feature or fix bugs without affecting the main code. So see, if you are talking about branch, so multiple branches will be there: main branch, feature branch, develop branch. So if any bugs will come and we have to fix that specific bugs, and we don't want to, because our main code will be in the main branch, so we don't want to do anything on the main branch. So we can create a what we can say feature branch. In that, if whatever the bugs will be there, we can fix it, and then later we can push it to the main branch. That's why branching concept will come into the picture. Now, merging. Merging means the process of combining changes from one branch into another, which may sometimes require resolving conflict. Means, merging means when, for example, one developer is there, he is working on one branch and some is working on another branch, and if they try to merge online only, if they try to merge their files or folder, then we can do that also with the help of merging. Now, commit. Commit means a snapshot of changes made to the code base at a specific time, used to track and manage project history. That is nothing but commit. So we understand component of version control system. Now, third thing, what we have learned: what is version control system, features of version control system, and components of version control system. Now we have to understand types of version control system. So there are mainly three types of version control system: local version control system, centralized version control system, and distributed version control system. So let's learn together one by one. So what do you mean by local version control? Okay. So local version control system operate entirely on your personal machine without any connection to a remote repository. What do you mean? It will be in your personal laptop. So if internet will be not there, then also it will work. Okay, it doesn't need any internet. All changes and version history are stored in a local database on the user's computer. So in this setup, there is typically one single user will be there and with no collaboration of sharing changes. So it stores version in a local repository and does not support teamwork or remote access. See, if anything I kept in my, for example, your personal videos, anything you will keep in your laptop, so no one is going to see it. That is only local version control system. Okay, and it doesn't require any internet to keep your photos in the laptop, correct? So that is local version control system. So there will be no teamwork, no remote access will be there. Remote means from outside no one can see this. Okay, so this is only local version control system, whatever you are doing in your local machine. So see, characteristic: no internet or server dependency, useful for individual projects, and limited to single user environment. So that is some characteristics. Now, second thing is centralized version control system. Okay, so centralized version control system, all the files and their version history are stored in a single central server. So developers connect to these servers to access or modify files. Okay, so it means on all the files will be stored at a single place, and developer will first access to the single place, and then they will modify their files and they can work. So this is like update and checkout. So a developer retrieves the latest version of the file from the central server. It will make the changes, work on the file, or commit. Developer saves or commit the changes directly back to the central server, making them immediately available to everyone else. That is nothing but centralized version control system. Now if you will see this example, centralized version control system, see one server is there, that is in the center, working copy, working copy, working copy. What it is? PC1, PC2, PC3. Now it will commit, then it will update, commit, update, commit, update. So like that we can work. So let's try to understand some pros and cons. So the main benefit of centralized version control system is that it makes collaborating among the developers while providing visibility into the project activities. It is in center and anyone can access, so it is providing collaboration between the developers. This is benefit. Now it allow administrator to have a fine-grained control over who can do what. It has something downside as well, which led to the developer of DVCS, distributed version control system. So here it allow everyone to do administrator task and fine-grained control, like whatever they want to do they can do. So this is something I can say cons, because it should not be like that. Now the most obvious drawback is the single point of failure represented by the centralized repository. If the repository becomes unavailable, developer cannot collaborate or commit the changes. Yes, if that it is a single point, okay, and if that is not available, so no one can connect and no one can collaborate. So that is the most failure, or we can say drawback, about this centralized version control system. Now the third thing come into the picture is distributed version control system. So distributed version control system, okay, is that contain multiple repository where each user has their own local repository along with a working copy. Simply committing changes does not make them visible to other, because a commit only saves changes in the local repository. To share with others, they must be pushed to the central repository. Similarly, to receive made by others, you must pull those changes in your local repository. The key difference is the two-step process of sharing changes. Did you understand? Okay, let me explain. Here in distributed version control system, if some file is there in the center, so you will not directly change it. First you have to pull it to your local machine, then you have to do the changes. Now if you want to push back, first you will commit it and then you can push it. Okay, so it will be available in the local also, and same like other developers can do. Now commit will save changes to the local repository also, so that will be visible only to you, whatever the changes you have done, not to everyone. And when you will push, so that uploads commit changes to the central repository, so that other can also access them. To change from others, the process is pull or fetch. So what, with the help of pull or fetch command, we can download the latest changes from the central repository to the local repository. The most popular distributed version control system are Git and Mercurial. So this help us overcome the problem single point of failure. See, distributed version control system, pull and push we can do in the repository. That here this repository will be our local repository, from server to our local. Now we can commit and update with your working copy, okay, like that. Now popular version control system, below are the most 5 widely free version control system perfect for individual and team. Each of these version control systems serves different needs, and the choice depends on project size, team collaboration style and workflow preference. See, this is the top 5 version control system: Git, Mercurial, Subversion, Bazaar and CVS. See, mostly we are using Git, because Mercurial previously we are using, but nowadays I can say 90% of the people are dependent on Git itself. But you can go with other as per the company requirement. Now, what is Git? So I already have covered, but even though I want to explain all these 5 things one by one line, that's why just stay with me. Now, Git is the most widely and used distributed version control system developed by Linux Torvald in 2005 for managing the Linux kernel. And it is highly efficient, supporting branching and merging, and has a fast, decentralized workflow. So, Git is the backbone of services like GitHub, GitLab, Bitbucket, and making its popular choice for developers worldwide. There are some features of Git, that is, it is lightweight, fast, and efficient. Branching and merging are simple and non-destructive. Provides powerful commands like git clone, git pull, and git push. Now, subversion. SVN. What do you mean by SVN? Subversion is a popular centralized version control system, while it is not commonly used in open source projects today. SVN is still widely used by many organizations and enterprises for its simplicity and centralized structure, but it is not open source. Okay. Features of SVN: single central repository, support branching and tagging, but it is less flexible compared to Git, and versioning of files and directories. Now, Mercurial. Mercurial is a distributed version control system similar to the Git but with a simpler interface. So it is well suited for both small and large projects and is used in various open source and enterprise projects. So for features is simple, fast and scalable, support branching and merging, and include tools for managing project history and changes. Now, CVS, concurrent version system. CVS is one of the earliest and most influential centralized version control system. It was widely adopted in the late 1990s and early 2020s and helped shape how modern VCS tools operates. Though largely outdated today, CVS laid the foundation of later tool like Subversion. So some features of CVS is it is centralized repository architecture, track changes to individual files over the time. Now, it will help to allow multiple developers to work on the same code base, and basic support of branching and tagging, though more limited than modern alternatives. Now, Bazaar. Bazaar is a distributed version control system developed by the Carnival, the creator of Ubuntu. Unlike Git and Mercurial, Bazaar supports both centralized and distributed workflow, making it flexible choice for teams with varied needs. It was widely used in canonical projects such as Ubuntu and Launchpad. Some features is there like support both centralized and distributed version models, easy to learn and beginner friendly, human readable commands, and cross platform compatibility. So this is something which we must have to know, that what is version control system, that we both learned together. So thank you for watching Study with Varsha. Have a great day and please stay tuned with me for the more information. Thank you very much guys. Have a great day.